There was a time I worked with a company many considered prestigious. In fact, people often called it premium. And honestly, the way it looked from the outside, you did believe it. One day, my team and I were working on the fire alarm system of one of the company's building, a massive five-story structure with a rooftop used for events. The entire property was valued at well over billion naira. But here's the shocking part: the fire alarm system was crude. And I don't mean outdated, I mean dangerously ineffective. I won't go into the details, but if you've worked in certain buildings around here, you probably already know what I mean. And if you haven't noticed, after watching this video, you just might start seeing the patterns. And I mean patterns like inadequate safety system, flawed emergency procedures, or complacency. That day, as we worked to test and adjust the system, which had been triggering itself randomly and was difficult to reset, the alarm went off. Now, here is where it gets interesting. I was honestly impressed by how the tenant companies responded. And I mean, really impressed. Top executives came out, the managing director of a multinational company, the GM of West Africa of another global brand, all took the alarm seriously and responded responsibly. But what truly caught me off guard was the response of the owner of the building. The MD, a man who was in the meeting upstairs at that time, discussing profit margins and new revenue targets with one of the many companies he owns in the building, didn't come out. Instead, he summoned me and my team and raised his voice. Why? Because he thought we had interrupted his meeting with a dream. But it wasn't a dream. It wasn't even planned. It was the result of trying to fix a system that posed a real threat to life and property. And while we weren't even aware he was having a meeting, we were aware that the alarm system could fail someone in a life or death moment. But here's the truth: leadership doesn't begin in boardrooms. It starts in how we respond to real life, to responsibility. Leadership is what you do when no one is watching, and even more so when everyone is watching. It's not about being perfect. No, we all make mistakes. But real leadership is humble enough to ask questions, to seek understanding, and to lead by example, even in uncertainty. Because someone somewhere is watching how you lead, and how you lead might just influence how they live. So here's the lesson I learned that day: that status, position, or money means nothing if we cannot value people and prioritize safety. That being a leader is not about backing others, but about being an example in every room at every level. So, to every business owner, executive, team lead, even parents and community heads, lead with empathy. Ask when you don't know. Be willing to unlearn and relearn. Be the first to model what you expect from others. Because real leadership is less about power and more about presence.